You can now pin a message to that for your live for Chancery. Click any. Okay, got it. Ooh, that light looks so much better. And now I just need to. You can see the grays. Every time I go live, I get a text message that I want to respond to. Uh, where do I want to stand? I want to put this thing. Hold on. Let me put something right here. I wanted to sit down, but I want to get the best light. See if I can use this thing right here. Child, one thing about being in your mama house, you got everything you need in your mama house. You know, at least I do. I got everything I need in my mama house. I guess I'm gonna have to hold it. I wanna sit. Let me see if I can sit right here. Cause I gotta relax. I gotta be, oh, that's what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to lean. I'm gonna have to lean back. No, I'm gonna just have to stand up. That's all right. That's all right. I'm gonna have to stand right on up. Hey, Nixon. What's going on? Happy New Year. I said, what I'm gonna do is, let me tell you something, Al. I'm gonna just have to go live. You know, sometimes we can make it a big old production. You know, that's what I was doing with the previous Dell shows. Making you know, doing it like a show in the kitchen, making it a production. But then in exchange for the production, you can't, you know, it's delaying everything. So this time I just said I ain't gonna try to go live on both. I'm gonna just be going live on here, and I'll just go live on, oh, let me turn this back up. Oh, it's on the volume. I'm gonna just go live on here, and I'm gonna go live on Facebook, and I'm just gonna be going live on different places, I guess, because I wanna be going live, you know. Thank y'all for bearing with me on fix. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have to have the light right there. And hopefully this thing don't fall. And I wish I would have did it before I even went live, but it's all good. The thing about me going live is, first of all, put it in the comments if you can hear me good. Because I just did a show before I left LA, child. I did a whole 40 minutes of talking and feeling and doing feeling and talking and talking and feeling. And child, I'll check that volume and it was just crazy destroyed. Thank you so much for confirming it, girl. I got my, oh, I'm sorry to say girl. Listen, when I say girl, that's how you know I am way comfortable with you, okay? When you hear this accent, you hear me from New Orleans. You hear my New Orleans accent, and you hear me say, girl, that's how you know I am way comfortable. I'm taking my first coffee break. Let me tell y'all something about 2023. Yay, it's here. It's here. It's here with some gray hair and everything. Shoot, that's the only way I want to live life a long time. My homegirl be like, you say you knew you heard her do a NOLA accent. You knew it, baby. Don't play. You knew you heard a NOLA accent. Yes, indeed, because the NOLA is where I'm born and raised. NOLA, born and raised in D.C. Then I moved on to New York, where I currently am, and then I moved to L.A. But I'm in New York visiting, you know, for the holidays. And also preparing to film my next special. Let me tell you something. I was supposed to film my special with this team of people, okay? And because I filmed with them the last time, and so when I got an opportunity to like sell the old special has some sound adjustments, that like some sound issues. So basically anybody we showed it to, they would be like, oh, it's good, but that sound. So anyway, so I got a chance to send it to this company who was just like, hey, we'd love to talk to you more. You say I'm from Jersey, retired military, and majority of the people I meet from NO are the coolest people. Thank you so much. And guess what? I love Jersey. Do you hear me? Jersey is the Black North, okay? That's where all the black people from the South, their ancestors went right on to Jersey, bought them a house, gave their kids a quality of life. You know, those who could afford to get their kids a quality of life, but like, Jersey is the Black North. That's what I call it, Black North Jersey. Anyway, so once we started putting the special together, now mind you, the first special was in 2018, and now it's about to be 2023, and I was like, I set a date. I was like, I'm gonna come out here. We gonna, set a date to film, and then I noticed it was getting harder and harder to get in contact with people, the first team. And one valuable lesson I learned too in this whole process is like, these same good people that, took the time to film me in 2018 is not the team that you need to be filming with in 2023, because I'm going off of the loyalty from the old team, being like, oh, I just want to make certain that I include them since they included me when they got an opportunity. But we did experience some like straight hardship because they lost parents in the process. But then when they lost parents, then it delayed our special. Then the sound got messed up. And once I started seeing the same patterns of things that was happening, then it just, and then coupled with the Lord showing me, look at this team over here, because this other team was like, hey, we could do another one. And I worked with this other team before, and it's always been smooth sailing. I could sit and I could edit with these people, it made me to be like, I gotta switch teams. Like, what I'm learning, y'all, too, is, I have no more black loyalty. That's what used to be a downfall of mine, is I'm like, oh, I want to do everything black hair. Harvey Camp, I've been supportive of you. Keep doing your thing. I'll always support your movement there. New York, New Jersey, NC is in the house. Thank you so much. I love you so much for saying that. That's what, my loyalty is not black, it's not white. My loyalty is with the Lord. I will do what he say do. And because he is using people to move things along. And that's the one thing that I learned so good. Like, so much is so good in 2022. Because sometimes we are so focused on, I'm so focused on wanting to advance us as a people because I know what we've been through. But one of the revelations I have is, it is really not a black or white thing. It is a wheat and a tare thing. When you look in the Bible, there's a story in the Bible of somebody planting the crops, and then the evil comes along and they plant the wheat crops, and the evil comes along and they plant the tare, and then the farmer is just like, no, we're gonna let them all grow, and then when they grow, we gonna be able to distinguish the wheat from the tare. Well, that's what it is out here in the world. It's really not a black or white thing, although you might be having experiences, bad experiences with white people, but I got quite a few experiences, with people of all different races, you know what I'm saying? And when you following your higher self, like me, I'm following the Lord. When I'm following the Lord tells me he will use who he want to use to get the mission accomplished. So I have spent the whole year just taking my eyes off of character, off of skin, and putting it on character, because when a person proves their character, then I know that I can go in that direction and work with them. You know what I'm saying? And the thing, so many thoughts I want to say. So just bear with me as I get them all out. Because I have these discussions all the time, but that's the whole reason I'm on the Dale Show, is just to to let y'all know my epiphanies. You know what I mean? Although, of course, now, I'm still working on taking my eyes off of interracial love, because it's so prevalent in Los Angeles that I just got to say something about it. I got to mention it in my special because I do feel like the Lord has revealed, has had me set my eyes on the abundance of interracial relationships. That has been like the straight it has been like, in New York, where I came from, being in New York for 10 years, child, it is just black on black love all day long. Even when it's not black on black love, it's like black on like other black race, you know what I mean? Other ethnic race love. But out there, it's just like straight, you know what I'm saying? It is like the cultures are mixing, which is good, I guess. It's good if it's pure, you know what I'm saying? But when it's not pure, which is a lot of times what I see, in Los Angeles, I know a lot of black men out there, and, they're dating white women, but then the white woman is paying for everything, which means that it's not pure, because you really don't have a black man. You have a black son, because let me just tell you, whatever. Listen, you like who you like, you want who you want, you do for who you do for. But, as a black woman, I can tell you, honey, you paying for everything, because also too, white women don't have like, they don't have the exposure, like, black women, we have the black male sexual pleasure all of our sexual life, the majority of us. So of course they probably, get over there, get a shot at that, and then they stuck paying for everything. But let me just tell you, white women, if there's any white women listen to this, honey, that sexual pleasure where he paying for everything hit a lot different. Do you hear me? It's a lot more satisfactory. Now this is minus the person that's been supporting their, like, even if you are a black on black couple, if your man has been supporting you and he want to start a new venture and you supporting him, that is not what I'm talking about. That is like the pure love. That, that's how we advance, in love as we grow as couples. I'm talking about people who just met and they paying for everything. That is not like, no man is being like, oh, telling his daughter, now you go out there and you pay for you a good man. Ain't no man telling his daughter, I don't care what race it is. Like, every man, every woman, every mother, everybody wants their daughter to find that knight in shining armor, that prince, I veered off from what I was going to say. I was saying all that to say, that's why now I have a white team, okay? Because to film my special, because I was calling these the old black people that I was using before, and I noticed the main person that I was gonna collaborate with, it was like this, like, this energy that just said, it was not a welcoming energy. It was an energy that said, no, you're not gonna control me, you're not gonna run things, and I realized too is there's nothing wrong with how you visualize how you want your special done. And there's nothing wrong with how I visualize I want my special done. We just got to do two separate specials, because I want my funny on the things that I do, and I don't want your funny to be nowhere near the things I do. You know what I'm saying? And that's what has helped me to arrive at such a peace, and also arrived in New York. So that's what's making me be like, that's why I'm here in New York. I thought I was filming it with them, but it was only the Lord. And that's what I'm talking about. I only followed the Lord because the Lord had me to hook it up with them so that I could take all of this time in New York, because these East Coast stages, honey, people ain't got time for you to be contemplating and you know what I was thinking. No, just say it right there. Don't even say you know what I was thinking. Just say what you was thinking right then and there. These stages right here, they move a lot faster. They sharpen you. They cut that cookie cutter real fast and chisel off the fat off of your jokes. So even though I'm not going to be filming here, I'm still filming on January 23rd back in LA. But I'm so happy how things happen because I have all this time here in New York to prepare, to actually build the material, to, you know, to work on it. In fact, that's what I was doing today before I started this before I started this video. I was sitting down writing out my set, which is, you know, something that I needed to do because when I find that now that I'm writing it out physically, like, you know, normally I'm on stage every day and then I go to record it because I don't have a break on stage. So I know the 30 minutes I'm going to do, but you know, this is the new 30 minutes. That 30 minutes that I did before on my old album, I had 10 years to work that 30 minutes, you know, 15 years, 14 years to work that 30 minutes. So of course I was so extremely comfortable. This 30 minutes that I'm about to do, I have had to stick it in between jokes, so I'm having to, and then of course I've been looking at, like, my friend Maya, she did her 30-minute special, and I just been following her, like, you know, post on Facebook of how all the things that Robert Townsend had her to do, all the things Robert Townsend had her to do, because he, like, helped her to produce, you know, her special. So he had her to write everything out, and so I'm writing everything out, and it does help me to flesh out the full thought. You know, I've been going on stages and I've been getting laughs, but, you know, writing also it helps me to get it in my memory. But one thing too is that I'm here to master is that silence, because when you're doing new material, you know, you're going to have some silent periods, you know, and that's always, for me, uncomfortable because, you know, you had 14 years of just laugh, and I'm coming from LA where, like, everybody sees people come to New York from LA and it just seems like, you know, their comedy is just a lot weaker because, you know, here you get all this stage time. So, you know, you be a lot stronger. But what I do notice in LA is people are able to tell their full story. You know, here people aren't able to get the full thoughts out because the laughter is coming so rapid fire with other people that I feel like it puts you under the pressure to get the laughter. Because I've even been under the pressure. I remember, you know, going into this room in Brooklyn like last week, and I was sitting there and I was judging how people were just going so dirty. And then my set fell silent and then I went dirty. And I was like, oh, that put me right back to, you know, in the humility, because, you know, here I am judging them. And then the Lord showed me, up, this is exactly how you feel. This is exactly how they feel, and this is why they did it. And, you know, I call myself responding to them, but in that response, I'm doing the exact same thing that they're doing because I want a laugh, as opposed to just like sitting right there in it and figuring it out. And I'm just so happy to have come to New York because, you know, with all this stage time, you can figure it out. Like, you know, I can see the jokes getting stronger and stronger, even with the place I did last night. And also in New York, child, you about to have hecklers. Like, I've had somebody talking on pretty much, not talking on every show, but, like, you know, you definitely gonna have to stay present in this town. So it just worked out that I could come here and work on my set, you know, work on my 30-minute special and work on, you know, and it's been great too. I'm talking about, you know, this new year, all my minutes gonna be spending on living, you know, that's it. Like, straight living, you know. I don't know about y'all. I don't know what y'all timeline was looking like, but it seemed like toward the end of 2022, every week it was like some kind of RIP. Y'all, I'm wore out with RIPs. Now, I think I'm gonna switch it to LIJ. Living in joy, lived in joy. That's it. Like I can't take another RIP. I was talking to my daddy. My daddy was like, we need to switch it up and do a lived in joy, died in peace. But I don't even want to keep putting the word on my timeline. It's like I want to do all things living. Like, you know, I don't even, you know how people, like, they'll be like, girl, you had me dying up there. And I don't use that word at all because words be coming to life. Okay, so I switch all my words. You know, even when people be like, hey, you know, I killed it. I'm telling you, I killed it, or she killed it. Now I be like, oh, I birthed that. I birthed everything living. I'll just be driving in the car some days, and I'll just be like, living, 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 living. I just want to keep the living words in my mouth and in my atmosphere, because you got to call death. Did you know that? You have to call death. Even Jesus, they crucified Jesus on the cross, and he had to give up the ghost himself. They could not kill him. We give up the ghost. That's why the Bible says death is an enemy. Okay, is an enemy. Is an enemy of life, of this life, and of God's purpose for you. You know, because we have to call it in first of all. So that's why I'm calling more life in. I'm gonna just, this whole year I'm gonna just be like, living to 120, y'all. Like, I'm just gonna keep on affirming long life, because other than that, no. I even feel like, people who like commit suicide, it's been a lot of them too. People who commit suicide, they was not thinking about the fun that they was gonna have like that next week, or they was not thinking about they was gonna have to go to work tomorrow. Because if you would even sit beside yourself and compare work tomorrow versus being in the ground. Now, some people are suffering mental illness, and I understand that, because, the fact that you could even commit suicide means mental illness. But like, it just lets you know they was not thinking about like Saturday, where things was going to get better and they was going to be able to dance it off and party it off. It's no more. They're done. You know what I mean? It's done. It's over. So you don't call it in. I'm not going to call it in. Okay, we going to call in living. Do you hear me? We going to speak life. Proverbs 18:22 said, life and death are in the power of the tongue, and those that love it will eat its fruit. That means I'm calling life in, and I want to eat life's fruit, because the Bible is about us getting rich. Like, you know what I'm saying? When people be like, they don't love money, I'll be like, all right. I'm going to have to draw a diagonal line between me and you, and I'm going to have to go in the opposite direction, because I want to be rich. Like, if I'm out here doing the Lord's work, okay, why do I want to do the Lord's work and still need, gas money from somebody else? I want to pull up after doing the Lord's work and pull up in a house in the hills in a Tesla. That's what the Lord wants for me too. Like, if we doing all his work, shoot, the Lord, let me tell you something. Miracle, Jesus was pulling 5 G's of fish out, okay, out of the sky, out of his speech. They was like, oh, it's just a little boy over there with some lunch. And he was like, watch how many G's of fish I get. He was pulling that currency out, okay, them G's out. Coffee break. Trying to get off of coffee too. Trying to get off of coffee. It's really not coffee I want to get off of. It's bread I want to get off of. Because look, that's why I said coffee. Coffee is the real narcotic. Do you hear me? Oh, shucks. Tag on it. Tag on it. Y'all wait right there. Oh, shucks. Y'all still there? Thank y'all for hanging in there, child. Let me tell you something. See, there's too much talk about the Lord. The devil will try to ruin it. Thank you so much, El. The devil will try to ruin my good time. Not only are y'all still there, I got another person to come on. See, Satan trying to... Child, let me tell y'all something. You got to... Let me see how I could do this here. Hold on. Let me see how I could do this here. Okay. You got to be... Let's see how I could do that. I guess I'm going to have to stand right here because I don't want my head cut off. See, you got to take drastic measures on your joy. Do you hear me? Just like I'm recording this video, that thing fell. That's how life is. That's how our joy is. And we gotta take radical measures for our joy. I'm the type of person where I'll stop answering your calls. I will, and I won't communicate with you what the problem was, because I will have taken so much of it by then that I'll just be like, I think it's time to put you on pause. And I don't owe anyone any kind of explanation. And people don't owe me. People have stopped answering my calls too. Stop doing for whatever reason. And I don't feel like I did them anything, but I do know for a fact that people gotta take their time radically. And when I don't hear from a person, I gotta bless them. I gotta still bless them, because I want the best for people. And we don't pray for other people, we pray for ourselves. So every time I'm praying for somebody else, and I'm like, Father, bless them, bless their finances, bless their peace. I don't know what happened, Lord, but bless me with the peace. Every time I do that, then every time I say that on their behalf, then I'm actually doing it on my behalf too, because that's who the prayer is coming back to. Is going to them, but it's also coming back to us. So, but you got to be radical with the joy, like those. Even right now, one thing I started doing, just in the last 6 months, I'll think of a situation, right, that was a previous situation that might have like offended me, and those feelings of offense will come up, and I'll say to myself, I'll be like, you know what, let me let them out the dungeon. Because the thing about it too is, they've been locked up inside of my own body. They have been locked up out here. They've been locked up in my own dungeon. And every time I be like, let me let them out the dungeon, I feel this breath of fresh air that I can I feel so relieved, because I'm, that one affirmation I'm telling myself, let me let them out the dungeon. It means I'm no longer holding them in there, in that offense. And that's one of the radical things I have done with my joy. You know what I mean? Not letting someone be in front of whatever because that's what it is. See, every blessing we ask for is right here. This is the blessing right here. But the offense, see, the joy is right here. But we'll hold the offense close, so the joy is right here, but then the offense will come right here. So the blessing is in between the offense and the joy. And I got to put the gate up, you know what I'm saying, to get the offense out of there, so the blessing can come right in. Because every time I'm feeling joy, when I tell you I'm feeling joyous, when I'm feeling joyous, things just come, sets go right, songs go right. I just recorded a new song since I've been here in New York, because I just said to myself, well, I've been marketing my song, and I'm like, the only thing that's missing from my music is giving people more options of my music. And I have so many songs, so I'm like, why am I not just getting it? Just get it out there. Don't worry about, market it and do the due diligence for marketing, but just get it out there. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I've been doing. Is I'm like, I got another studio session this week. I'm gonna take my song to an engineer to have him make a dance version up. I'll put the link to the dance version to my page, so you can hear the little sped up dance version of my song Never Give Up. But just literally pursuing the things that the Lord told me to pursue. You know what I'm saying? So that I can be exalted, and not exalted oh, I'm above everything. I'm talking about exalted in my purpose, like the Lord being like, oh, okay, you did this, now that's done, all right, let's move on to this other thing, and let's keep on graduating, and let's go up here, and let's go over here, all right, and boom, you're hosting the awards, because you have done all the things that He has put before you, the task He has put before you. So yeah, trying to think of what else I wanted to tell y'all about, because I've been trying to leave y'all with the never give up stories, and I'm trying to think of Speaking of never giving up, the song that I just recorded, I recorded this song. Whenever I go into a studio, because I guess I'm not in the studio that often, I'm initially kind of like shy. Like when I hear some of the notes that I put, hear myself on the mic, it will sound foreign almost, if you know what I mean, because I'm singing it to myself and I'm singing it in the car and I'm singing it in the shower, but I'm not singing it on the mic. So on the mic, it's just like, ooh, it sounds like that. No, but when I went to the studio, I recorded the first version of the song. Then something told me, you know what, go back to the studio. Like, you don't have to have one session. You can go back to the studio, you can get this song. So the next day I had a show that was near the studio, but the studio time was late. So I was like, like, do I want to wait an hour and a half? And then I could feel the Holy Spirit being like, an hour and a half is not a long time, Delisi. Just go. So anyway, so once I decided, I think I'm gonna go to the studio tonight. Then I found another show, after I left this first show, I found another show. I went there, got off a stage. Now I only had like an hour left. You know what I'm saying? And by the time I started driving to the show, to the studio, I got there like right on time. Like, you know what I mean? I needed all the time that I had. Otherwise, I would have been late. But when I got in the studio, sometimes I work with, people, it's late or whatever. And, the engineer, he seems irritable, like it's almost like he was surprised that somebody booked this time slot this late. And I know him too. This is a good brother. He was surprised somebody booked the time slot for this late. Because I could just see, you ready to go. It's 12 o'clock. I'm booking from, no. The studio session was at 1 a.m. So I'm booking, I booked from 1 to 3, but I booked it at like midnight. So you probably thought you was about to roll out. And then here I come, and I got so many changes. And it was feeling like, maybe he's a little aggravated. But I just sat and for a minute in the booth, and I was like, compassion. That's the word that popped up in my brain. Like, he's ready to go. So immediately when I thought about him and thought about he's ready to go, but thought about, finishing the goal and having more compassion on him, knowing that I immediately, my whole demeanor was softer, Every time I spoke to him, it was in the softest, most non-threatening tone, because I knew how it felt that you wanted to go home, but still wanting to get the mission accomplished, So started just going over the pieces of the song that I wanted to redo. And then I took a couple of breaks too, because sometimes people need the break. So I was like, I'll go to the bathroom. And then I was like, I just want to change these things. And then I want to let you work your magic. Once I said that, I changed, we got the things changed vocally that I wanted to change. Then I took the break in the bathroom. Then when I came back, I could see it was an air of like love, of him wanting to actually do a great job, because it was no longer a person inside this like booth of being like, do this, do that. You want to do it again? You want to do it again? Like, it was no longer that. The work was done, and now he could put his creative mojo, and he could zone out for the last few minutes that he had left. And we wind up with such a great song, such a great song. And it was the whole testament of just like not giving up on myself, not, first of all, not putting any negative thoughts in my mind about him, because sometimes if you are paying for something and somebody seems aggravated, it will, you will be like, okay, like, I'm paying you. But just knowing how late it was, knowing when I had booked it, showing more compassion, and then also not giving up on my own goals. Like, I was tempted to be like, all right, I'll just take this to somebody else and I'll just fish it up. But then, I just was like, no, I'm gonna take it back to this brother who I know wants to do a great job on this song, as opposed to now I got 15 other people, 15 other opinions. I want to work with this brother through completion. And that was my story about never giving up. It wound up being a great song. And I'm so glad that I did bust a move, pipe myself down, show more compassion, humility, and the love. You know, I was exuding love. I was feeling the love even in the inside. So I can't wait to put to be on release these songs, because that's really what I want to finish in New York, is all of my songs, so that I can release them regularly and get them out there. Guys, I usually say this up top, but I just gotta say it now. First of all, before I even say it, I want to say thank you so much for coming to kick it with me this whole time. Happy 2023. If you aren't already subscribed on my YouTube page, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you comment, y'all. I love your comments. It's so good to see you too, Elle. And that was about to fall again. Satan, you need to get behind me, Satan, okay? And thank you so much for tuning into the